Hello, and welcome to the New Story Podcast with me, your host, Rebecca Conran, life coach, energy healer, and evolutionary astrologer. And this week we're going to look at the month of October in general. What's going on? What's the energy going to be like? Why is it so intense? Um, last year and this year, we have been becoming so familiar with the last degree of Pisces, the 29th degree, as Neptune was in it before it shifted for ages and it was retrograding and going forward and backwards. And then also Saturn. Saturn went through this degree backwards, forwards, and now we find ourselves with both planets retrograding, both planets coming back to this 29th degree of Pisces. This degree is so potent because it's the end of the entire zodiac. So the karmic shift is huge. It's a lot of growing to do. It's what are we going to surrender to move into a new era? And we see that globally, but we also see that personally, and needing to actually walk our talk spiritually. There are so many people that talk about their beliefs, but they don't act with humanity. And so this is a time to wake ourselves up and understand that our religion and our beliefs and our spirituality doesn't mean a thing if we're not willing to live in alignment with humanity, live in alignment with love. Then it's really just all lip service. And Aries is going to really pay service to that lip service eventually. But right now, we're really looking into ourselves and saying, if we're honest, um, how can I live in more alignment? How can I be a more truthful, deep person? How can I have a capacity for greater love? And October really helps us with that Libra Scorpio axis that we're on. It's about it's about relationships, about beauty, about balance, diplomacy, and it's also about depth, digging down to the ugly stuff we don't always want to share, revealing secrets to ourselves about our own value and worthiness, and bringing it all into a place where we can look ourselves in the mirror and be proud of who we are. So, October is a time to go into the depths and then take a full breath and go even deeper. And we definitely find ourselves negotiating layers of meaning, wounding, longing, and power this month. So the month opens in October with confrontation. Can we justify our beliefs? The deeper truths beneath our patterns, our behaviors, why we do the things we do, why we talk the way we do, it needs examination. And we have to really ask ourselves, am I aligning myself with borrowed beliefs? Are these really things that I feel are true? Are they in alignment with who I am? And we really are having to stand on our own, especially in the world where there is no black or white. There's no either or. It's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as just these are on the right side, these are on the wrong side. These are the people who are right, these are the people who are wrong. That doesn't exist anymore. We have to, well, not that it ever did, but it doesn't exist. And now we're revealing this to ourselves. All of these ideas we've had that have separated us into these different identities, we're learning to see that all of these identities have just created so much separation. We are so far away from being unified. And yet we are one collective consciousness. So it's very painful and dangerous for us to, as a species, be so separate. We have to find a way to gather ourselves all together again. Mental tension is going to be really high this month, especially in the first week of October. Issues around authority, self-worth, how we communicate our needs, they're going to arise. And the evolutionary question here really is, are we allowing our wounds to become wisdom? Are we learning from them? Are we growing? Or are we simply rationalizing armor that we've built around ourselves caused by the wounds? The full moon on October 6th is going to really light up our ego. It's in Aries. The reminder here is that even in catastrophic breakdowns, we're not alone, and we definitely have the courage to start again over and over and over again if need be. It also tells us that, sure, we need to have our individual courage, but have we become isolated from others as well? And I know that, you're listening to me on a podcast or possibly you're seeing me on YouTube, but are you also getting off your phone and connecting with people in real life? Like, how much space are you giving to um, AI, things that are digital and not things that are real, putting your hands in soil, hugging a person, looking someone in the eyes. These are the important things to be doing and to be cultivating. That's great that we have technology. It should be an aid to us. It shouldn't be something that continues to separate us from our organic material. So Mercury then, after the full moon, is going to enter Scorpio. It's going to shift signs twice this month, and it's definitely very active all month long. Honesty is not optional with Mercury in Scorpio. We need to have transparency around our dark side, and we need to rein in some of that darkness and see, like, be carefully considering like where our darkness is being expressed and if our wounds are running the show, if something in our subconscious is running the show, words, beliefs, and ideas, they can kill and cause suffering. They really can. They cause a lot of damage in this world. An idea behind how words and beliefs and ideas can kill is supremacy. Okay? Any kind of supremacy, religious supremacy, ethnic supremacy, um, intellectual supremacy. These things allow people to see other humans as statistics and not people who have hearts, dreams, ideas, and are worthy of life. So, yes, words, beliefs, and ideas can kill and cause suffering. And we are here to really transform the space of that within ourselves and within the world around us. And there is grace this month if we're willing to soften, if we're willing to be honest, and self-responsibility really not negotiable at all this month. Or in any Scorpio season, Scorpio is going to cut right to the core. Venus is going to enter into her own sign of Libra on October 13th, and that's going to create a rapid series of initiations. What's required of us in love? Are we seeking validation where we need self-respect? This moment can illuminate where our longings are clashing with our responsibilities, where we're overburdening ourselves in the name of affection, where we're caught up being cute and superficial and in instant gratification, but we're not actually feeling loved on a deeper level, and we're not including compassion and unconditional love in our ideas of relationship. So Pluto stationing direct not long after that entry is going to really shift power dynamics. Power dynamics are going to be really on the forefront. So how we are in community, how we are in terms of our ideas for the future, what has power over our vision, and what has power over our accountability. And of course, we want to bring all that power back to ourselves, into our own self-responsibility, and know that we're our own master, master of mind, master of heart, master of action and behavior. That all belongs to us. So we want to bring all that energy back. The new moon on October 21st is speaking also to crossing thresholds. It's about wisdom gained through hardship. We want to set intentions around the new moon, around our relationships, around how we connect with other. We want to be setting intention for relationships and to heal our relationships in a way that support our fullest becoming and fullest acceptance of our value and worthiness, not just immediate comforts. Neptune retrogrades re-entry into Pisces the next day is a return again to that 29th degree of Pisces. This is karmic. We are doing this karmic work. By karmic, it means lessons that were not integrated before are being integrated now. These are ancestral. These are wounds that we got in childhood that we haven't dealt with. These are shit we did yesterday that we need to look at today. Okay, we've got to retrieve part of our dream that got left behind. That's what this is all about. It's about, what still wants to be born in my life. What needs breathing room? And this dream is not just going to be some, you know, superficial thing that we're tapping into. It's the deeper dream of our spiritual purpose, our human purpose here. And so we're finding that. And it might not make a lot of sense to our rational mind, but our intuitive body is what we want to be tapping into. Dreams can be really powerful right now. Our creativity is such a good channel. And overall, it will be a very emotional time, very emotional time. There can be a feeling of grief that is hard to pin down because it is the grief of lifetimes, it is the grief of your ancestors. It's grief that's been held in you for, years and years and years. So we want to make room to be compassionate and loving towards that, and to make sure that our boundaries reflect a care for those emotional needs. Scorpio season begins in earnest with the sun's entry on October 23rd. We're going to be, learning to dare to look under the surface if we haven't been already with Mercury in Scorpio. As the month closes, our motivation is getting a push of ignition that is strategic and expansive. Mercury's going to enter Sagittarius on October 29th. That's going to bring some inspired thinking. And it's not all going to be just the heaviness of sort of a Scorpio deep digging season. It's also going to be visionary. We're going to have a focus. There is a mixed bag of downloads, revelations, though, and just a need to let go of rigid certainty. We don't know, the mystery. Trusting in the mystery is the most powerful thing that you can do, and holding that space inside of yourself, this home inside of yourself, imagining that the void that you are in, it's not holding you without feeling. It's not holding you in a vat of empty coldness. It's holding you with love. And it will usher you through, and you will be born at the right time for yourself. So this October, we're being asked to be profoundly honest. The transits this month support courage in self-inquiry, clarity in communication, and emotional and spiritual depth. Trust in the shedding that you're experiencing. Stand absolutely buck-ass naked in your truth and know that you're enough. Even in your unraveling, little secret for everybody, you don't have to be worthy to receive love, to be loved, and to be in an abundant state. Those things aren't synonymous, okay? Should you behave in integrity with your worth? 100%. But you don't have to be some perfect version that's never been hurt, that's never been wounded, in order to be an open-hearted, abundant person and to receive anything and to be valuable and worthy. You've been that since you were a little child. So get out of your own way. Speak what's been hidden, write it down, burn it. Great time for that. With the full moon, especially in the beginning of the month in Aries, exercise, move energy out the body. Let energy transform and transmute within you so that you can create your most worthy dreams. And as usual, don't miss the practical self-care of the day-to-day, normal, how you feed yourself, how you take that extra moment to embody, how you ground, how you calm the mind, be patient, be calm. Really work at it though. It takes effort, but I know that you have the strength to do it. Let the mind transform this month so that you can create your most worthy dreams. Lots of love, everybody, and I'll speak to you next month. Thanks. Bye.